Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pilates Matwork today. Today we're going to do some things with our Pilates ring or magic circle, whatever that you prefer to call it. We'll also incorporate a few different things in here with the stretchy band as well. I recommend a light to medium resistant stretchy band here, not necessarily the heaviest one. So I will put those to the side for right now. As a general reminder, always work at your pace, take breaks as you need them. Remember, the lower set number is more for those that are newer, and the higher set number are those of you that have more experience, more practice, and have a little bit more endurance. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start seated today. Now, I am sitting up on a blanket. My hips are just a little bit tight this morning. I did a lot of desk work yesterday, so they're not real happy. So you're welcome to come into a folded blanket or a pillow, something to sit on. So legs can be wherever you want them to be to make you comfortable. But try to find a nice tall sit here. And I'm sitting sideways just so you can get an example of alignment. So you're looking for ears, shoulders, and hips. Now, I constantly remind myself I have this tendency, old habit pattern to sit forward. You'll see me self-correct throughout. That's okay. But you also want a natural curvature of your low spine here. So you don't want to completely flatten that out. So just relaxing through the shoulders. Zip up from the pubic bone behind the navel. Belly button is in. Good. And then from here, we're just going to breathe and expand. So as you inhale, expand that rib cage. And then exhale, pursing through the lips. Also, as I exhale, I like to get a little bit tighter in my core. So you can also kind of feel this here a little bit too, taking your hands right below the rib cage. Inhale and expand. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now, it takes a lot of practice to keep that breath up through your whole Pilates practice. But practice makes better, makes progress. So feel free to practice that. You will not hear me do it because I cannot do it and talk at the same time. So just knowing that that's your breath, I'm going to take fingertips to the side. I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm zipping up. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to take my chin to my chest. And as I do so, I'm thinking about that nice stretch down the back of the neck. Good. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to take my gaze right where my ceiling and wall meet. So I'm not taking my head all the way back. Just that little engagement here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to take my right ear to my right shoulder. So I'm feeling a nice stretch down the left side of my neck. I've got my left fingertips grounded on the floor. I could stay here. I also have the option to walk out my left fingertips to the left. I can extend that left arm from the shoulder and reach and hover. Or maybe the right hand comes up and rests right above the left ear, but I'm not pulling or tugging. I'm just letting gravity do the work for me. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale, exhale, we'll release. We'll come back centered. Inhale, exhale, left shoulder or left ear to left shoulder rather. Good. Right fingertips to the floor. I'm breathing and expanding. I'm getting this nice stretch down the neck. Good. You might want to walk the right fingertips out. You can extend that arm in a long, strong hover and reach. Or maybe the left hand wants to come up, resting right above that right ear, just letting gravity give you the deeper stretch. Breathe and expand. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll carefully release and we'll come back to center. Good. Finding that nice tall sit again. Take some big shoulder rolls forward. Notice how I'm not flopping here. So you want to keep your rib cage in, and then maybe some big shoulder rolls backwards. Good. And then from here, we'll go into some side bends and twists. Big inhale, reach, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, let's take a side bend. So I'm going to come towards you. That's going to be towards my right. My sits bones are grounded. I'm still breathing and expanding through the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale. You can stay here. You can open to the ceiling. Or maybe you want a little C curve roll, belly button in, reaching forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, engage. Use your abdominals, your obliques, your side abs. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale. Exhale, taking it over to the other side. Nice side bend. As best as you can. You still want to try to take your shoulders and your hips in alignment. You can stay here. You can open towards the ceiling, or you can choose belly button in, C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, engage, coming all the way back up. Gentle twist, reach, 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 nice and tall, always twisting from length. Going over to the right, rolling shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit more behind you. And we'll lift, and we'll come in right into the other side, taking hands down, shoulders roll back, looking more behind you. And we'll lift and come back to center. Good. And from here, we'll take that down. Good. From here, I'm going to shift forward. I'm going to move my blanket out to the side, but I'm going to keep it close just because I never know when I might need it again. And from here, we're going to go right down to a little roll down prep. So we'll all do this one, unless you shouldn't be in a C curve, then just go ahead and come onto your back. But from here, keeping your props close, so I've got my band here and my ring here. I'm going to start with bent knees on this first one, holding. I'm zipping up from pubic bone behind the navel. And I'm going to round, round, round. I'm scooping in that belly button. And then when I can come back no more, I'm just going to release. Maybe I'll let my legs go a little bit longer and come down. Good. It would feel good to you to take knees into the chest for a moment. Sometimes sitting tall is a lot of work in itself, even if it, feels like you're not, or looks like you're not doing a whole lot there. Until your muscles become stronger, that can take some work. So I'm going to take my feet down here. Good. Now I'm going to pull my ring close. Good. So I'm just kind of settling in. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track. Heels are not too close into the glutes. I'm going to roll my shoulders under a little bit so I can reach long from shoulders to fingertips down by my side. And from here, we're just going to do some basic pelvic tilting. So finding neutral, tailbone is having connected. Your hip bones, your pubic bone are in that same plane. So you're in neutral. My low rib cage is also connected, and I'm wide through the collarbone. I'm going to really draw up and in nice and deep, taking my belly button in. I'm going to rock that pelvis back. So there's your posterior tilt. And then I'm going to rock that pelvis forward, moving through neutral, getting a little bit of a deeper arch in the low spine, but not at the expense of the low back being uncomfortable. So here's your anterior tilt. So we're just going to rock it back posterior, coming back forward anterior, keeping the belly button in. We're nice and tight. Most of the time, I like to inhale on the anterior and exhale on the posterior. But at the end of the day, the only wrong way to breathe is not breathing at all. So make sure that you are breathing and not holding your breath. Good. And then from here, I'm going to find my neutral. I'm going to rock it back. Now I'm going to peel up one vertebra at a time. I'm pressing into my feet. I'm trying to keep even pelvis. Good. It's okay to squeeze the glutes. I'm trying to open up a little bit here into the hip flexors. I'm still reaching long and strong from shoulders to fingertips. And then starting from the mid back, I'm going to lower that down one vertebra at a time. Good. Coming back to neutral, finding that length, rocking it back, peeling down. And carefully taking it down. On the next one, we're going to rock it back. We're going to peel it up. We're going to stay up there. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Good. Now maybe lower slightly, but still keeping the pelvis nice and even. Really engage. I'm going to pick up my right foot and then the left. So we're going into some marching here. So this warms up both the front body and the back body. You don't have to pick your feet up high, but if you want to, it's a little bit more challenging. You can take some big marches here. Move with the breath. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, both feet ground, even the pelvis if you got out of whack there, and carefully come all the way back down. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to grab our ring. I'm going to make sure some parallel hip width apart. We're going to do some chest lifts here. You don't have to have the ring required, but we're going to press into it just a little bit here. Elbows will be slightly bent when we do so. But I'm going to take my arms up, zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel, so my belly button is in nice and tight. Big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to nod my chin. I'm going to reach, reach, reach. So I'm kind of pressing into that ring. I'm reaching forward. I want to lift the shoulders and shoulder blades off my mat. And then I'm going to lift my arms up and lower back down. Same thing. Inhale, zip it up. Exhale, taking it forward and lifting. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So always do a little chin tuck when you lift. You don't want the head to hang back in space. And we'll come up and we'll lower down. We're going to up the ante here a little bit, going into a little bit of rotation. So big inhale, exhale, I'm going to reach and I'm going to come over towards my right, the outside of that right thigh. So I'm really reaching a little bit more forward to my left side. Good. Advanced people, you're not going to come all the way down as you move through center. Those of you that are newer, you will. Inhale, exhale, lift or rotate over to the left. And then center and right. Hips stay grounded wherever you're working. And center and right and center and left and center. I'm starting to build a little heat now. I hope you are too. And left and center. Last time through. Right, center, left, and center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, take that down. Good. You can bring this into the chest and we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. All right. We're going to go into the hundreds from here. I'll demonstrate real quickly. Some of you are going to come up. Maybe feet are grounded and this is you. Some of you are going to be here. Some of you are going to be here. Some of you might even be here today. That's all okay. Some of you are going to use the ring with me. I'm going to take my feet on the inside. I'm coming right up from the ankle. And I'm using my hips. I'm pressing up from the hips, not from the knees, to get this outer glute, outer thigh engagement. And you can do this one with legs straight up, tabletop legs, or your diagonal line. So you'll choose. So from here, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, C, curve it up. Figure out where you're going to go. Start pumping arms long and strong. Belly button in. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Lift higher, reach deeper, and take that down. Release the ring if you use that. We'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to do another bridge pattern here. This is going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I'm going to cross right ankle over left knee. Good. Now I'm kind of opening a little bit here, and if a one leg bridge here is not for you, you can just work on the hip opener here, no worries. But from here, I'm reaching my arms long and strong from shoulders to fingertips down to my side. I'm really going to engage and think about that left side. My belly button is engaged as well, and I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to lower. And we'll lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Good. Once you've lowered, take that knee into the chest. Maybe wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, we're going to take that all to the other side. So carefully undo. We'll cross left ankle over right knee. So remember, you can stay grounded and just focus on the open, or you can single leg bridge with me. Drawing up and in when you're ready. Here we go. And we'll lift and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. Notice how balance is different. And lift and lower. Maybe one more. And lift and lower. Once you've lowered, take that foot in and just get a nice little stretchy. So one side was harder for me than the other. Hopefully you noticed any differences as well. Good. And then from here, we'll take that down. And we will release. Good. From here, we're going to go right into our series of 5. So we're going to start with single leg stretch. So knees are going to come into tabletop position here. I'm going to take my arms up. So remember, once you're lifted, you take the opposite hand to the knee, same hand as leg and by the ankle. And when you do that, the purpose of that is to keep that hip, knee, and foot in alignment. Okay. So whenever you're ready, big inhale, you're in that neutral spine. Exhale, good, and reach, and switch. And here's 2, 3, we're going to go to 10 to 12, 4, hips stay grounded, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm going to bring my knees in, lower down just for a moment. Taking my legs up towards the ceiling. While we're here, let's just take a moment to point and flex through the feet. Good, and twirl those ankles in one direction and the other. And snap, crackle, pop, like Rice Krispie treats, which is what my ankles sound like right now, is normal as long as there's no pain associated with those. And then from here, just spread the toes wide and squeeze them together a few times. Good. So single straight leg stretch. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to start on the left side this time. Right leg's going to come along in a hover. Try to only pulse the leg that you're holding on to. So pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 2, 3, 4, with a smile. 5, and 6. Good. You can stay with these, a little bit more advanced. Maybe take your hands behind the head and go here. Good. So I think maybe we've got a couple more. Good. I'm going to do one more for good measure. Good. And then I'm going to bring that down and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. And then from here, double leg stretch. I'm going to do this one with the ring as well. So there's a couple things you can do with the ring. Some people like to reach over as you come back, forcing you to lift a little higher. Some people like to take the ring in, so I'm going to do that today. I'm going to take my ring in between my ankles here, okay? And I'm going to give a light press in. And when I do that, I'm firing up my inner thighs. So again, this is from the hips. You don't want to have pressure at the knees. So from here, I'm just going to start knees bent. Inhale, exhale, coming up. Good. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, woo, and 12. Whew. And take that in and take that down. I remember a time not too long ago when going to 10 or 12 was one heck of a struggle. Now I feel really strong that I can make it. Okay, double straight leg stretch. You can certainly bring the ring in on this one if you want to. I'm going to take a break from it, but you can take your legs up here. You can sit on your hands. You can have upper body lowered or lifted, and your legs are just going to lower and lift together. So only go to your limit. You want to maintain neutral spine. Inhale, exhale. Find where you want to go. Good. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go at your pace. Take breaks. 7, 8, 9, 10. Could we do 2 more? Could you go to 11? Woo! Could you go to 12? Bringing that in, taking that down. Rock, 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 side to side. Good. We're going to go to crisscross next. So beginners, or those of you that are newer, your feet are going to stay on the ground. You're only going to do the upper body portion. Everyone else, knees are going to be back in tabletop. Think about legs doing the same thing as single leg stretch. I'm going to take my hands behind my head. Good. My elbows are coming out wide, but they don't have to be at their absolute widest. But you do want to think about leading from shoulder and rib cage, not from the elbow. Facilitate more rotation. So from here, big inhale, exhale, rotating to the right, and then left. And here's 2, and 3. Hips are grounded. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, let's go to a nice little stretchy here. I'm just going to move my ring out of the way here so I have space. Arms are going to come to the side. Take your knees to tabletop position. Let those knees come over to the right. Trying to keep left shoulder grounded as you look to the left. Breathe and expand that rib cage. Feel the nice stretchy. And then whenever you're ready, head will come back to center. One leg at a time, or using your abdominals to bring those knees back in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let the low back reset itself. And then when you're ready, we're going to take those knees over to the left. Trying to keep right shoulder grounded as we look to the right. Breathe and expand. Okay. And then when you're ready, head back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abs to come back into center. And we're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good. I'm going to use my toes to bring me my strap. So we're going to go into some leg circles here. So what this band does is it gives you a little bit more resistance, but we often do this without the band at all. So those of you that have watched those videos know that one. So you can keep a little bend in that opposite knee. In this case, it's going to be the left, or you can extend that leg long and strong. Find where you need to be. Find a grip that suits your range of motion on this band. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually, let's stretch first. So I'm just going to let this femur sink down into its pocket. And I'm going to draw up and in, and I'm going to let that leg come towards my face. Good. Hands can come behind the head for deeper range of motion, but always be mindful. So a stretch is okay. Pain, numbness, tingling, burning, or not. Good. Then we'll come back up. Good. Now, I'm going to choke up a little bit here on the band. Make sure the band is nice and flat around that foot. If it is kind of bunched up together, it has a tendency to roll and snap and hit you in the face. So be mindful of that. And I'm just going to pull this down to the mat. So my elbows are down. They're in tight towards the body. I'm feeling that nice connection. I'm thinking about pressing just a little bit more through that heel of the foot. Belly button is in. Good. And keeping my hips nice and grounded as I take this nice leg circle. So use your core here. Belly button is in. The wider the circle, the more challenging it is because it requires more stability. The smaller the circle, not necessarily less challenging and feel, but it's easier to control. So be mindful of your options here. Good. 6 to 8 circles in one direction. And then we'll reverse that direction. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we are going to choke up again. So find your place that you need here. We're going to put that leg in a tabletop position, and you want flexion in the foot. So I'm going to bring my elbows back down here for just a little bit more stability. And then from here, I'm going to really engage that right heel, that right glute, and I'm going to press. And then I want to control that resistance as I come back in. I don't want to just snap. So noticing here, if you need to make it easier, don't grip up as tight on your band. And we'll press 2, 3, belly button in, 4, 5, and 6. Good, and then when we're ready, we'll just bring that in, take that leg up. We're just gonna do a midair switcheroo. Good, so we'll get that stretch first. Right knee can be bent or extended long. Find the grip that's appropriate for you. Let that hip settle down into its pocket. And then when you're ready, you'll bring that in towards the face. So always keeping a little micro bend in the knees here. We don't want to do a hyperextension or a lock. I'm still breathing and expanding here. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll release. Good, find the grip, again, that's appropriate for your range of motion, your challenge level. I'm gonna pull that band down. My elbows are connected, they're in tight towards the body. And then from here, find your circles. Doesn't matter what direction you start with, we're gonna do the same thing in both directions. Do you need the control of the smaller one? Do you need the challenge of a larger one? So long as hips are not moving around, they're staying stable. 6 to 8 in each direction. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll reverse. Belly button is in, you're controlling it with the core. Breathe. And notice how it feels compared to the other side. Is it about the same? Is it a little bit different? Is it a lot different? Is your sense of control different? Mine certainly is. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll just bring that in. Good, I'm gonna bend the knee. We're gonna get those leg presses here. So find the hold that's appropriate for your level. Flexion in the foot, drive through the glute, drive through the heel. So I'm gonna bring my elbows back down here for a little bit more stability. And we'll go 6. Slowly bring it back in. 5. 4, try to keep hip and knee in alignment. 3, 2, and 1. And we'll bring that back in and release that band. Bring both knees into the chest and we'll rock, rock, rock. You can choose to roll over to your side and pick yourself up, or a rolling like a ball version. So you can hold to your shins, the thighs. You can cross your ankles. See, curve it up, nod that chin. Find your circles. And rolling all the way up. I'm going to roll all the way forward into tabletop position. Good. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into upper body here. So again, have your band handy on these. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with some scapular push-ups, and then we're going to build up to larger push-ups. So my knees are under my hips, or maybe slightly wider than hip width apart. I'm pressing my hands into the mat, and I'm pressing my shoulders away. Elbows are coming slightly inward. I'm rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. So zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel, my belly button is in. I'm just going to let my sternum drop towards the floor, and then I'm going to press away. And I'm dropping and pressing away. Good. Good. So this works on a range of motion. Good. Now, we keep going here. If that is too easy for you or your wrists don't like it, come down onto the forearms. You're still pressing away and you're dropping here. So a little bit of a different sensation. Good. From here, we'll all drop down to a forearms, and we're going to go right into a forearm plank. So if you're going to keep your knees down, just take your knees a little bit more behind you. Otherwise, tuck those toes. And we're going to lift. I'm going to press back through the heels. My belly button is in. My shoulders are in their pockets. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. Press back. Child's pose. Breathe and expand. We're going to do that just like that one more time. Good. So coming forward, forearms are down. Good. Taking your knees back, leaving them grounded, or maybe you lift them, pressing back through the heels. Good. Find a nice long line. Breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees. Child's pose. Good. Modified push-up or full push-up here. So if you're doing the full push-up, you'll start from a high plank. Okay. If you're going to do the modified, you'll follow me coming down onto the knees. So from here, whenever you're ready, find your modified plank or full plank first. Good. And then go to your push-ups. We're going to try for 6. So here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that back. Maybe cupcake the fingertips. and breathe. We've got one more set coming here. Could we do another round of 6? Could some of you maybe even go up to 8, maybe even more than that, but we're going to keep a lower number because we're going to hit our triceps with this band here in a moment. So from here, whenever you're ready, find your push-up position, high plank or knees down. And whenever you're ready, big inhale, exhale. Or maybe exhale on the up. But here's 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe keep going for a couple more and then take that back. Good, just use this opportunity here for a little bit of a stretch. So take your knees a little bit wider. Good, I'm just gonna walk my hands over to one side. So I'm onto my right side. So I'm gonna walk my left fingertips a little bit more forward, just kind of pressing back towards that left hip. Breathe and expand. And then coming up, taking that into the other side. I'm going over to my left. I'm walking right fingertips forward. I'm sinking towards my right hip. Breathe and expand. Good. And then from here, I'm going to come back. We're going to set ourselves up for some tricep presses with this band. So you're going to take this band forward and kind of think about somewhat threading it through the pointer and the thumb. Okay, so find your tabletop position here. Good. So knees can come a little bit wider here, especially in this one. So I'm going to start by doing this on my right side here, just so that you can see what I'm doing. That's the side. So you really want to anchor this band under your left hand here. So you're in charge. Some people will choke up a little bit, some people not so much, but I'm going to hold this band and I'm going to take my elbow back right into my body. Good. And I'm pressing away with supporting shoulder. My belly button is in, so I'm supporting my front and back side. And a tricep kickback. I'm just going to stretch back and bend. Only moving from the elbow. Good. And 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Pause for a moment. Really feel that tricep fire up. And then we'll take that down. Good. So rethread if you need to here. Resituate yourself. Now this band is going to be nice and secure under the right hand. Now I'm going to take the band, my left elbow back on the left side. Good. I'm pressing away with supporting shoulder. My belly button is in. And I'm going to press from the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo, hold it back there on your 8th one and release. Great job. I'm just going to come forward here, crossing ankles. Good. So from here, we're just going to practice some roll downs and roll ups here real quickly. And then we're going to go back into some upper body work. So remember, you can bend the knees, you can hold on, just do the half and come up. You can release and do the same thing. You can have legs long. You can do the partial and come up. You can roll all the way back and roll all the way forward. Those of you that are doing that, remember, try not to use momentum, which is this. Even I can do that. I didn't use my core at all. So when you're not using momentum, it's a lot harder. We'll see if I can do it today. Inhale, exhale. Shh. Good. Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. Woo. Still going over towards the left, but I'm reaching and I'm coming forward. So ideally, you want to be able to lower and lift up through center. That's something that I'm working on, coming back from an injury, so be mindful of that. And then you can also use your trusty band here. So I'm going to use mine for a little bit of resistance and assistance. Resistance on the down, assistance on the up today. Always option, never requirement. Try for about 5 or 6. If you're doing these in good form, remember we don't have to have a whole lot. My belly button is scooping in and coming back up. Nice tall sit. My hips are really tight, so my low back does not want to go all the way down. That's today. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, when you've completed yours, I'm just going to come forward. If you don't have your band, go ahead and slide that on. Remember, we want to be nice and flat around the feet. If it's bunched up together, it will snap. Best case scenario, it'll hit you in the chest. Worst case scenario, it'll hit you in the face. So be mindful that you've got that nice and flat. So again, I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of come to the end. Some people like to do a little rack here. That's fine too. That's your personal preference. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm drawing up and in. I'm going to hinge back here with a long spine. Good. And then I'm going to come forward. Now, take your arms forward. Inhale, exhale, hinge it back. We're going to open and center. Could you pause? And open and center. Could you do that again? Open and center. Feel those shoulders and the core working. And open and center. One more time. Open, center, open, center, open. We're just staying here. We're center and close to the side, center, side, center, side, center. Reach, reach, reach. Hinge it up. Release that band. Fold forward. Good. From here, when you're ready, let's go into spine stretch forward. Good. So I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. They're about mat width apart if you're working with a band today. Find a little bit of an anterior tilt of the pelvis, tailbone coming behind, hip bones coming forward. Good. Arms are going to come forward. We're just going to do 2 of these. So zipping up. Really take that belly button in as you peel forward. So we're not hinging from the hips. We're peeling forward. You're in that rounding. And then from the tailbone, carefully coming up, stacking bone by bone, back into that nice tall sit. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Good. And coming back. Good. Okay, we're going to take this down. I'm going to bring in my ring. So you can keep your legs forward. You can put a little bend here. I'm going to put a little bend in mine. I'm going to press in. So we're going to do pulses. We're going to come back. We're going to rotate again, pulse, pulse. Come back to center, pulse, pulse. To the left, pulse, pulse, and back to center. Long spine here. So from here, I'm going to hinge back. Good. Pulse, pulse. Rotate. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse. Legs longer. Pulse, 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 pulse. Go, go. Reach. Reach. We're holding, but we're breathing. Heels are grounded. Reach those legs forward. And then I'm just going to round, round, round. Coming all the way forward, reaching, 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 finding a nice forward fold. And coming up. Good work. Take this to the side, swing those legs around, come onto your belly. Good. Finding some extension work here. Good. So I'm going to take my hands forward into the side of my shoulders. We're going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. This is going to get into the triceps too. So remember, they're already tired from the band and from your push-ups. So you really have to watch your form. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in, pubic bone is into the mat. Good. We're going to lift. Only lift to the point where you feel no crunching and can be in good form. Shoulders in their pockets. And lower. Good. And lengthen. Maybe you can come up a little higher. and lower. One more time, reach as you lift and lower. Good job. From here, take your arms forward. Palms can be down or facing each other. That's going to be your personal preference. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button is in. Pubic bone is into the mat. Lift the upper body if you can. Lift the lower body. Pause here. Belly button in. Good. And we're going to alternate. We're going to take these slower today. So really squeeze the glutes. Really find the balance. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Stay with your breath. Keep breathing. Don't hold it. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Take that down. Recover, recover, recover. Hands under shoulders. Press back real quick, child's pose. Coming forward, having your band within reach for setup. We're going to come onto the side for some sideline work now. So I'm going to take my ring. I think I said band a while ago, but we're going to use the ring. I'm going to take my bottom leg through. So I want that handle to be right up from the elbow. I don't want the elbow, ankle, ankle. This is the ankle, this is the elbow. We want the ankle, ankle right up from the ankle. You don't want to be on the ankle, that won't be comfortable. And then you can choose to be up here on the shoulder and the forearm with the lifted rib cage. That's where the hard part is, keeping the rib cage lifted. Or you can follow me and come down. This is what my shoulder needs today. And I'm going to rock forward. So I'm in a nice parallel stack here. So my other leg is on the inside. Good. I'm drawing up and in. I'm really engaging. And then I'm going to press 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, 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 and hold. Good. I'm going to take that leg on the outside. So again, that top part of the circle should be right up above that ankle. Hips, knees, and toes are facing forward. You're in the stack. Bottom or top leg is going to get into that inner thigh here. And we press 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, press, press. Good. And then from here, we're going to use the ring as a guide as we toe and heel tap here. So I'm going to take my front hand here just for a little bit more stability, but heel to the front, toe to the back. Heel, toe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. From here, I'm just going to let this ring come up here. Good. From here, bending in the knees. Good. We're going to open. And actually, let's do this with a lifted leg today. So we're going to hover right about hip height. Good. And we're going to take our clam from here. We're going to open. Good. Hip height. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's just take a little bit of circles, maybe 3 in one direction and 3 in the other. Good. Now we're going to come up. We're going to stretch this hip flexor here. So I'm just going to come up a little bit more into my shoulder. I'm going to grab this ankle. Good. And then from here, drawing up and in as I take that knee and that foot back, I'm taking my hips a little bit more forward. Just finding that stretch. Good. From here, we'll release. We'll take that leg around, cross it forward, sit up, hug it in. And we're going to take that all right into the other side. So from here, whenever you're ready, I'm just going to swing around now. So now I'm going to get set up with my ring. So now what the leg that was on the top is now on the bottom. So now I'm going to slide that leg through here. Good. You choose being up on the forearm or coming down a little bit more here on the shoulder. Good. Top leg. Actually, we're on the inside to start. Good. So from here, I'm in a nice parallel stack, drawing up and in. I'm really engaging this outside here, and I'm going to press into my circle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm pressing and holding. I'm going to release. I'm going to take that leg on the outside, drawing up and in. Good. Here's inner thigh work now. We'll press 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm pressing and holding just for a moment. Good. So this front hand can come down if it's not there already. Good. So we're going to do the heel toe. So heel forward, toe back. And here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Watch your hips. 7 and 8. Whew. From here, I'm just going to let that ring kind of come down. You're going to bend your knees. Good. And then from here, we'll take this leg up. Good. And then we'll open and come back. And 2. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Just take some little circles here, maybe 3 in one direction, and then maybe 3 in the other. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm just going to come up a little bit here, bending that ankle. Good. Draw up and in as you take the knee back. Hips are going to come forward a little bit, maybe rolling that shoulder back. Find your stretch. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll cross that leg over the top. Come all the way back up. Give it a nice big hug, hug, hug. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to end with some arm work here. So I'm going to recommend that you sit in the best way for you to sit. So for me, that's going to be crisscross applesauce. And actually, I'm going to bring this in. Good. So from here, we're not going to do this full set. We're just going to do a few little things, and we're going to come to another final little stretch and be all done. A stretch with a balance challenge. So taking arms forward, so it's right out from the chest, a little micro bend in the elbows, and we're going to press in. So here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it in closer, elbows out wider. Another round. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now remember, every time you're pressing in, you're lifting up, you're engaging your core muscles just a little bit tighter, those pelvic floor muscles. Good. Let's take it up overhead in the halo. Elbows out to the side. And one more time, we'll press. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And we'll bring that down. Take your hands on the inside. We're going to use this for a little stretch. Reach forward, around. Try to press that away. Good. And we'll release this to the side. Good. Find yourself in all fours. Once you found yourself in all fours, take your right foot forward. Good. Once I'm there, I'm just going to take that left knee back just a little bit here. I'm going to come up. Good. I'm going to release and maybe come up here. You can keep your hands here as well or on the floor. Just a final little hip flexor stretch. Breathe and expand. And then coming up, we'll do that one more time. Good. So I'm just going to come here for a moment. As you come here, just kind of one more time, just kind of sink towards that left. And coming back up from your tabletop, left foot's going to come forward, making sure that knee's a little bit more behind you. You can come up here, reset, and sink in. Hands can stay on the thigh, or you can take your arms up, a little bit of a balance challenge. Good, releasing out of there. I'm going to come back, I'm going to release, and I'm just going to kind of sit towards that right. Good, and then from here when you're ready, good. Tucking the toes, lifting up, finding a downward facing dog for a moment, maybe walking the dog, getting a stretch in one side, and then a stretch in the other side. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to walk those hands back towards the feet. I'm putting a little bend in the knees. I'm just kind of dangling here for a moment. Good. And then I'm just going to press to the feet. And then I'm going to come up. When I come all the way up, I'm just going to move this out of the way. So I'm going to use my wall here. You may not have a wall, and that's okay. I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider. I'm going to lean up against this wall. Now, as I lean up against this wall, I'm kind of coming to a little bit of a wall squat. So now the wall is helping me be supported. And I'm going to cross one ankle over the other knee. And then maybe I choose to stay here. Maybe I choose to come deeper. Hopefully I don't pull my tapestry off the wall. Now you can also do a different version of that. It's a little bit more challenging. I know my head's cut off in the video. So you'll come into a little squat. You can take it over here. Good. And you can find another little stretch with a bigger balance challenge. So those are different ways that you can do it. This actually feels good to me, better than I expected. So I'll probably stay right here. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll take that into the other side. So you can come back to the wall or find your little squat, crossing opposite ankle over. Good, finding your balance challenge here with the hip opener. And when you're ready, we'll release. I'm just going to come back down to my knees. Big inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Bend one elbow, get a nice stretch. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Take that back up, go into the other side. Little stretchy. And take that back down. Last time together, big inhale. And exhale, growing taller from crown to tail. Thank you so, so much for practicing this Pilates class with me. I hope to see you again soon in future videos. Have a great day.